Hello, citizens. Welcome to Shitty Movie Showdown, episode 25, apparently. So they tell me. It's been a nightmare the last couple days, couple weeks, whatever the hell it's been. I can't keep track of time in here. There's killer donuts running rampant all over the fucking house. They are just a nightmare. They're everywhere, and they're just leaving crumbs everywhere. I'm getting ants. It's a serious nightmare. So, unfortunately, my good news is that I have to watch 2 government shorts again today. So, really looking forward to that. Let's learn some shit about the government. Okay, and here we go. More coordinate. How to keep a job. All right. Oh, a little wobbly. Cameraman's drunk. All right. John Givens all over the place here. Los Angeles City Board of Education. All right. I'm gonna give him a short. All right, he's gonna Ed Blankenslike, what business? What? Oh dear God, he's going for a hit. Oh God, it's like the gay pages in the paper. This is the first Craigslist. I'm looking for an ambitious young man that can make a place for himself in a well-established. Oh. Maybe I was gonna apply for that. You didn't give me enough time. Is this the whole short? This can be generic paperwork for businesses. Oh, he's all squinchy faced. Please hire me.
This looks all right. Tell me, why are you interested in this job?
I need a steady job, Mr. Wiley.
When you frame a shot, you want to have one actor facing away from the camera. So it's a good idea.
The Central Distributing Company. You work there
Generic, right?
Yes, sir.
Central Distributing Company.
Because I wasn't getting anywhere. After 18 months, I figured I was worth more than they were paying me.
They are real assholes.
And I figured I was ready for promotion to more important work.
Like an actor.
Honest, Mr. Wiley, it was a rotten company. I don't know why I stayed as long as I did.
Tell me, were you fired?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You fraud. You're a fraud.
It wasn't my fault. The company just up and started firing people. Retrenching, they called it.
Retrenching?
What do you think of that?
I think you're a junkie,
I
Tom.
think it's a pretty normal situation. A business has to live within its income. Many factors affect
Is this
that
his
income.
dad? Are they practicing? What's going on?
General economic conditions. The development of new industries that replace old ones.
I want to
For
sit
these
down all
and
casual
many other
like.
reasons, businesses often go through periods of adjustment and reorganization.
I love this guy's
That's to let
super
people
depressing
go.
office with minimal lighting.
Anything? Why me?
Why
You said in
me?
18 months you haven't gotten anywhere.
That's right. Other fellows who started later were promoted right over my head.
They're better than you, Timmy.
How much warning do you need? Couldn't you see the company valued the other fellow's services above yours?
But I thought I was doing fine. What did I do?
Do you expect me to answer that?
No, sir. I guess you wouldn't know.
Actually,
Because
I
you're
probably
12.
do know better than you do.
Oh, I'm over here now. Hoping to mind if I bend
business
space and
taking
time.
For this, but I can't help thinking you might
I want a
really
job.
amount to something if you'd set your mind.
Oh, now I'm over here.
Try to see yourself as your employer saw you. Better still, let me give you a picture of a case I really do know. It's about a young man who came to work in our shipping room here. And another young man.
His office is like a
We begin
prison.
work here at 8:30. That's the time to begin this business of keeping a job.
That's the name of the short,
And
sir.
that's the time Bob Anderson began work every day. We could depend on him to be on time and to do his work on time.
Measuring in kilos
You might
of
call
heroin.
him an eager beaver. But look at it
He's a
from the
business
employer's point
scientist.
of view. Wouldn't you like to have Bob working for you? Dependability is one of the main
Bob can't
keys
match
to
for
keeping
shit.
a job and getting ahead.
The Colombian sent us some good shit this month, so we're in luck.
Some
We'd
of
be
the
heads on a
work in our
pike if we
shipping room
didn't.
is hard work. That's why we've always had 2 fellows working there.
Oh, that's a lot of heroin. Oh, yep. Oh, Bob's too weak.
Well, two fellows who were supposed to be working. The other fellow I want to tell you about
It's a real
is
sack
Walter,
of shit.
Bob's brother.
I hope it's him. Hope it's him.
Bob's
No.
twin brother. But the resemblance is only skin deep. Look at Walter from the employer's point of view, and you see how not to keep a
He's
job.
wearing just a loose ass tie. Almost looks
Look
like a
at him from
neckerchief.
Bob's point of view, and you see how not to get along with your fellow workers. On the other hand, Bob would be popular wherever he worked.
Bob decided to kill his
You
twin
know,
brother.
he would do his share of the work and help others who needed help. Cooperation is another way to keep a job.
He's like wearing his dad's clothes. What the fuck is he wearing?
Walter finally decides to go to work, but a job he was supposed to do first thing. Actually, he was supposed to run them off the evening before, but he put it off.
He was reading the paper
This
for
is
3
how
hours?
Not to be dependable. How not to cooperate with the company and with your fellow workers.
What the fuck is he doing? What is that machine? What is that crazy contraption?
Poor Walter.
Papers are all ripped
Who
and
should
shit.
come into the shipping room but me? The boss always seems to find out. Walter's manner gave him away. Now, it isn't hard.
That
to
loose
learn to
ass
make
tie and
good,
unbuttoned shirt
clean
was a
copies
clear
on
indication.
duplicating machine. And this wasn't the first time I'd had to criticize Walter for making poor copies. And it wasn't the first time he tried to alibi his way out of a situation.
That's a copy machine?
The fact was,
What the-
Walter just couldn't take criticism. Yet how could a man expect to
Could we
improve
afford
on
to,
the job
you would hear the audio of
if he
that
won't listen
conversation.
to the very people who can help him?
What?
Just before closing time,
8 hours later, he's still
you'll
reading the
find
paper.
Bob getting the shipping room ready for the night.
How long are their shifts? Good God.
And you'll find Walter getting himself ready.
Ugh.
So he won't be a
Getting
second
himself
late
ready, if you know
punching
what I
the
mean.
clock. An employer sees this as a sure sign that a man isn't really interested in his work.
Speaking of work, do you like my
If you
split
were
screen
the
work?
employer
Is
and
that an
had to cut
elevator?
down your staff,
Oh, I guess not.
which fellow would you keep?
That's not hard to answer. But why didn't you go ahead and fire
I'd keep
this,
them both, if you know what I mean.
Walter?
Now, don't be too hasty. I'm only telling you about Walter's bad points. He did enough work to hang on to his job. As long as
They're your
times
kids,
are
aren't
good,
they, sir?
There'll be jobs for fellows who just barely do enough to get by. But to keep a job when the going gets rough, you need to ensure your job. Make yourself so valuable your employer can't let you go. We
Yeah.
talked about dependability and cooperation.
Why are you giving me life advice, sir?
Now, another
This is
prime
strange.
quality is initiative. And for
Initiative.
once, I have something good to say for Walter.
This one's from the Bolivians. You better get that out there. That shale's not going to
It's
sell
not
itself, you
hard
know.
to understand why he was unhappy whenever shipments were left just inside the door. The packages had to be hauled all the way across the room.
Clearly
for
empty.
wrapping,
Clearly empty.
then hauled back again when they were out. If you don't like the way things are done, you can spend a lot of time complaining about it. That was Walter's usual way.
His crazy Ace Ventura hair
But
was
this
not
time,
pleased.
He got an idea.
I'm going to
and
shoot the
he
place
knew
up.
what to do with it. In
Yeah.
every company, there's
We'll all
plenty of
play.
room for improvement. And the management usually welcomes suggestions from employees.
You will all
Walter's idea was a practical one, so we adopted it.
fire my brother.
Company benefits through time saved and less handling of packages. The fellows in the shipping room benefit through having one of their harder jobs.
Those
made
boxes
easier.
are clearly goddamn empty. They move when he
Walter
touches it with his
improved standing
fingertip.
with his employer by his display of initiative. But one good mark isn't enough.
Die.
One day, not long after,
Earn.
Walter was taking advantage of a lull in the work, and Bob was bringing the shipping records up to date when...
They were held up at knife point.
What you got there? Shipment for you. Wise guy. Well, finally. The stuff they've been running in here asking about every hour for the last 3 days.
That new cocaine. I hear it's going to be crazy.
Company. They wait till they've run out of something, and everybody runs around like crazy. No system, and nobody in charge with enough brains to start one. What a way to run a business.
You don't like the company, why do you work for it? Me, I work for a swell outfit. I'm proud of them.
Maybe I'd like to work for them. Could they use me?
What for? A press agent?
Is that supposed to be an insult?
Yes, Walter found out.
I mean, it's
that
Boca Dat
nobody
Die.
thinks very much of a man who talks
Maybe your
against
business
the
is failing
company
because you're hiring 14-year-old twins, and only 14-year-old
And
twins.
what did Walter gain by making that false statement about his company? Nothing. Except trouble for himself if it got back to his employer. Which it did.
I'm a god. I know
guess it's
all.
not very
I'm
different
omnipotent.
from the way I was talking to you about the place where I used to
Man, there's just like
Well, there's a saying,
chairs over there in the corner.
Oh, the
For,
shoe fits all
does he
right.
punish his employees like that? Just
You
sit
know
there in my
who did.
depressing fucking office?
work. Yep, I could see my shortcomings all over the place.
Ew, coming all over the
Dependability.
place? That's all I heard.
Initiative, cooperation, and loyalty.
And I'm deep, deep in the closet.
I could have done a lot better on every count.
you can do better.
Act better.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Did he get the job?
Well, Bob, I've got a new assistant for you. Bob Addison, this is Ed Blakesley.
I really couldn't tell if that was the same actor or not.
Bob's
Turns
a
out
good
he's a
man
foot
to watch.
taller.
As soon as he trains somebody to take over here, he's moving up to assistant purchasing manager.
Say, that's great. Mr. Wiley's been telling me about you and your brother.
Is that Hayden
My brother?
Christensen?
Yeah, your twin
Or
brother.
Christian Haydenson? Whichever order his name is. He's
had
just
a
as bad of an
phone
actor as
today,
these kids.
So I invented a twin brother for you. You see, in this
You'll be
twin
his twin.
Bob's,
I have a weird
I was
fetish.
really describing Bob's poor conduct on the job when he first came to work here.
Oh, you mean the way I was loafing on the job around here before?
I get it. And then you...
You lied to me, sir. It's a
Well,
great way to
you
start off
can-
a business relationship.
Say, Mr. Wiley.
Can't wait to work here
Did
for
I
you.
ever
You
tell
and
you
your
about
tricks,
my
your
twin
deceiving
brother?
nature, and your... I think you might be the devil, sir. That explains your office. Oh, it's over. I missed the ending. At least I know how to keep a job now. Oh, we got another one. Social class in America. This is what the screen's saying on my end. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is going to be really, really racist, I feel. This is going to be something. It's from 1957. It's about social class. I think this Jim Crow idea is a great idea. I think we're going to keep around for a long, long time. Some good laws. And so on.
Newborn American babies.
Tasty.
Newborn citizens of these United States.
This is that T-Mobile commercial.
Free and with rights guaranteed by the Constitution. But let's take a closer look.
Let's take
These
one,
new
actually.
arrivals in a typical American town have equal legal rights. In class, they are not equal
You have
at all.
15 newborns
Each has a
in a
social
typical
status
American town per
handed
day?
on to
No,
him
what?
by his family, ascribed to him at birth.
How do you get to the ones in the back?
Meet Guilford Ames III,
He died
the
yesterday.
latest addition to one of the town's upper class.
That's not an alive baby. Guilford.
Guilford Ames II is the wealthiest man in town.
His desk is
He owns a
large.
factory. The
Oh,
Ames
oh,
is
he
one of
shifts
the
time as
oldest
well.
Families in the community.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
prestige as well as wealth.
Jesus Christ.
This is where an Ames family has lived for the last 100 years. And this is where Guilford Ames III will live.
Oh, guess he
Like
didn't finish
most
that
of the
idea.
babies here, this one, Theodore Eastwood by name,
Died 3 days ago.
has an ascribed status of middle
Can you show the
class.
babies move? This is super depressing.
His father is Joseph Eastwood, high school educated,
Brother
and
of
a
Clint.
white-collar worker in the Ames factory. He has a steady, skillful job,
Him? I thought it was the other guy. Why are we showing the other guy so much then?
but the chances are that he
That dude's
will not
elderly.
advance much beyond his present status.
Oh, I'll be dead by the time that kid's in junior
the
high.
mortgage on his house is on its
shit.
way to being paid, and someday it undoubtedly will be. Although young Ted Eastwood has an ascribed status of middle class,
Oh,
the
Jesus.
best status he achieves during his life
They move like
maybe higher
13
than when
ghosts,
he was
the
born.
ghost in that movie.
Could be
Ugh.
true to David Benton, whose ascribed status is lower class.
All white babies. They're completely ignoring different races
David's
and
father
classes.
is
It's
Michael
all white
Benton,
people in different classes.
an
That's all it's going to
unskilled
be.
factory worker who has a meager education.
That was a meat factory? What the
Mr.
fuck is that?
Benton rents the upper floor of a two-family house in a rundown section of town.
He's a real sack of shit, you know what I mean?
The ability to rise from an ascribed status to an achieved one is called
A black guy.
vertical mobility,
There's a black guy.
and
surprised
is
you're not looking at him through the
particularly
glass. Jesus
characteristic
Christ.
of the United States. There are class lines
All of the
within
new dads
each
in this
gender
town are
group,
64.
and these vary geographically and in
These
relation to
better be the
nationality,
grandparents.
religion, and race. Class exists.
Look at
in the
her.
United
She's
States as it
elderly.
does everywhere.
Really
And it
showing
plays a
cradle to the
vital
grave in
part
one shot here.
in the
Jesus
life of every
Christ.
community. Let us follow the lives of these three babies.
I won't live to see these
and
children
see
be able
how
to talk.
class affects them.
There's the black baby. I just want him to
18 years
acknowledge it,
later.
that's all.
Gil, Ted, and Dave are in the graduating class of the town's high school.
Wow, we really jumped forward there.
After
That
the
was
commencement exercises,
a hell of a cut.
the three boys who are good friends.
Remember the time we were in cribs together in the same room? That was fun.
Next fall, Gil Ames is going to attend an Ivy League university. Ted, who took a commercial course in high school,
He's a mobster.
plans to get a white-collar job
White-
like his father's.
Oh, wait.
Dave is going to work too, so that he can add to his family's income. Friends forever.
Well, I'll
they
never
say.
see you guys again. There's
Well,
Simon yearbook here.
Maybe, in a way.
And get out of here.
But these boys come from
Hi,
families of different
Mom.
classes. And the lines of social class are real
She's all-
here in America, as they are everywhere. In Europe,
I'm
in
Gilbert's
Asia,
mom.
and even in the Soviet Union. As the years
Came out of
pass,
left field.
class
Jesus.
boundaries will separate Gil and Ted and Dave more and more.
Well, Gil's better than them. That's why.
The boundaries between Ted's middle-class parents and Dave's lower-class parents are as
It's too far to
important
overcome.
as those that lie between the upper and the middle classes. Even the simple
I don't think
matter
there's
of
going to be a
graduation
lesson
from
involved
high
here. I
school
think it's just going to be saying
difference
there's
significant
differences in
for
you.
the
You're
boys
better. This
and the
person's a
family.
piece of shit because they're poor. And that's where it's going to leave off. It's as far as it's going to go.
Gil, it is only a milestone in his formal education. Later that
I
night,
can tell they're rich because they got a
Mr. Ames
taco,
has a serious
ceramic
problem with his
taco
son.
on there.
Mr. Ames tells Gil that he sent him to public high school so that he could gain a democratic background. But now he's about to enter an environment more in keeping with his social position. At college,
It's your responsibility
he
to keep
will meet
the
men of his own kind.
Gilbert name going.
Gil understands, because already he has developed an awareness of his class, its patterns, and its rules.
Get out, Gloria. Yes, ma'am. Look at the ceramic taco up there.
In another part of town, the Eastwoods have just finished dinner.
Everyone has plates
And
up.
Mr. Eastwood is talking with Ted about his plans for the future. Ted's record in high school was generally good, but there was one subject in which he excelled: drawing. Ted would like
Drawing's
to
a
do something
subject?
professionally in the art field.
Drawing is not a
His father
subject. It's art.
discourages him.
There you go.
In the light of Mr. Eastwood's own experience, security
Was he lifting his
lies
shirt
in
up?
business and white-collar work.
You're wearing a wire, son.
Ted sees his father's point of view and agrees that the commercial courses he took in high school have prepared him for office work. And so, that's the kind of job he'll look for.
And scene. Jesus Christ.
In the Benton household,
They keep getting
graduation
smaller and
from
smaller
high
'cause they're
school
poor.
is an event worthy of celebration.
I want to hang out with these
And
guys.
a family party in Dave's honor is in progress.
Oh, they're playing that game, and whose line is the name when
Mr.
only one
Benton
person can
proudly
sit.
announces to the guests that Dave has already gone out and found himself a job. In the Benton
Looks like
family
Schmitty.
and among their neighbors, economic pressures are important. Dave's initiative in finding work is highly regarded by all
Quirk
of
in
them,
white.
and his parents are justifiably proud.
They look like they're screaming at him. Man, he's got the tiniest bow tie ever back there.
4 years later, Dave, 22 now, has a job at a local gas station.
Like a real sack
Although
of
he's
shit.
still only a gas station attendant, he's studying to be an automobile mechanic.
You overshot the pump by about 4.5 feet,
The
sir.
driver of the car
Oh, hey.
is his old friend of high school
Hey,
days, Gil Ames. Gil has graduated from college now and is on his way to start work in his father's factory.
He works for the colonel. Good
Dave
God.
is going to be married, just as soon as his job of auto mechanic comes through.
His job of auto mechanic comes through. Just waiting on my job to be born. You know what I
Gil's
mean?
first day of work in his father's factory turned up still another familiar face. Ted Eastwood has a job in the bookkeeping department. Mr. Ames is taking his son on a tour of all the departments of the factory. Someday, Gil will take over the business, and today, he's beginning to learn about it.
This is a forever handshake. That was the coldest re-meeting I've ever seen in my life.
Gil Ames with his future all laid out for him.
His giant pants and his giant coat.
You're Ted Eastwood, stuck in a job you'll be in all your life. Why don't you get out?
I don't know.
What's keeping you here anyway?
I don't know. The money.
Mary Blakesley? You thought you'd marry her.
Yeah, she left me though.
Remember what she said that day in the car?
I do.
Her car, of course.
Yeah, oh, of course.
Can't you see
You
it's
gotta rub it in.
impossible, Ted?
The voices!
Just money. We live in different worlds.
Shut up!
Sure, different worlds inside this town, but there are other worlds. Bigger towns.
Who's this voice?
You've got some money saved, go to New
Who's
York.
this? Who's this one?
Give it a try for 6 months.
I'll go to New York.
And if you fail,
Give it a try. And come
only
back.
you're not going to fail.
Oh, I'm not. I can't come back. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't fail. Yeah, I'll go to New York.
And Ted didn't fail.
Oh,
He
you talking about
had
Ted? I thought you were talking to me.
And
You said imagine I'm
ability to
Ted.
work hard. He started with a job in the art department of a large advertising agency. They called him
Thought I was
a
going to New York.
production assistant, but actually, he was a sort of a glorified errand boy. But at least he was through with bookkeeping.
I thought they were going to
And
go to
close
New
to
York.
the kind of work he liked.
Kind of butt into that a little bit.
At night, he took courses in
You put an
commercial
H
art
on
and
night.
advertising.
Another
Spent
H.
a good deal of his
Good
free
night.
time working and studying at home. In the years that followed,
Work
Ted
hard.
gained
Raise your status. I get it.
knowledge
Oh
of
my
his
God. How is there still 4.5 minutes left?
By the time he was 30 years old, he was the head of the art department of an advertising agency.
What happened to his girlfriend?
Horizontal mobility, moving from one place to another, has resulted in vertical mobility for Ted Eastwood. A movement upward from his ascribed status
You call him Ted, but
to
his sign
an
says
achieved
Theodore.
status that is largely the result of his professional standing.
I want to know if they
Class lines
named
are
him
drawn
Ted
differently
Eastwood, therefore
in
had
a
to
large
make a
city
placard
like
with his
New
name
York.
on it, or they had the placard on the door and they're
They're
like, let's
still
name our
there.
character this so we don't have to make one because it's already there. I really want to know because I think it might be the
Professional
second one.
standing, power, and wealth are of great importance.
Jesus
It is
Christ.
possible for members of socially prominent families, theater people who may have come from the lower class,
I want that
and
fucking hat.
successful businessmen of the middle class to mix socially. And Ted is an accepted member of the group.
Now that you have money and power, you're valuable, Ted.
But when Ted returns to his hometown on a vacation,
He hates them. He thinks
how
they're
does he fare?
insufficient.
Has he anew achieved status back there?
Hey, go
too?
fuck yourself. I'm rich now.
When he meets the girl he wanted to marry,
There's
have
a guy
things
in a seat.
changed? The town is small enough so that Mary has heard about Ted's success in New York. But this isn't New York. Mary is married to Gil now, and
What the
although
fuck?
they're friendly enough toward Ted, he still isn't part of their world, and he never will be.
What the hell's happening in this thing?
Town,
It's a roller coaster.
the described status of his parents is still the class to which he belongs.
Why is this about Ted's downfall? Is that his mom? I don't. Ma'am? Whore? Dickhead best friend? Where was
Ted's
Gil
mother
arriving from? He had a
brings him
suitcase
up
as
to
well.
date on all the town gossip, but he only half hears her.
Ted's a
The
real
meeting with
dick.
Mary has stirred old memories in him. He's remembering what she said to him about different worlds. He knows now that to her and Gil, he's still the nice kid from the wrong side of the railroad tracks, no matter how successful he is. His
Is he wearing like a
achieved
Mountie hat?
status
What is he wearing?
is higher than that of his father's. because he
I
has
never
a
had my dad drive a
professional,
car while I sat in the
but that
back with my
status
mom.
depends on a
That's
place.
weird.
In this case, New York.
My family loves to play taxi. Uh-oh.
Dave Benton, on the other hand, has changed his status hardly at all. He's now a skilled auto mechanic. And although his achieved status is not
Hey,
much
you
better
poor
than the
sack
one
of
described
shit.
to him by his family, financially,
I can poop in this suit and I won't even know.
provide
Nobody can
better
tell.
for his wife and children.
It's great.
His third child, a son, was born in
Fuck
the
you,
local
too.
hospital just yesterday.
Jesus.
This new
Benton baby.
has the ascribed status given him by his family. He may, as he grows up, reach a higher
It's like the nurse was like, what status would you like your baby to be? Because I say the word status, and they're like, poor. Well, let's give him a poor status.
To which he was born. His vertical mobility
Stop
will
saying
depend
that. It
greatly
means
upon
nothing. It
him,
means nothing.
his
Vertical
character, his talents, and abilities.
and his death.
It will possibly depend, too,
Who will mourn
upon
these babies?
geographical mobility.
Is there only one baby this time?
Because the criteria for class boundaries vary from place to place. And so it will be for all these babies.
In the baby morgue.
All citizens, all equal before the law, but not the same
Oh,
by
this one.
standards of class.
This one's going down with a fight. All babies were harmed during the making of this short. The social class in America are changing family life, beginnings of conscience, the age of specialization, cooperation, competition, and conflict. The end. Oh, bravo. Oh, the downfall of Ted was epic. Oh my God. What a great short that was. I can't believe it. Oh man. So the first one really had me knowing how to keep a job. And I know now that if I have a twin, I have to be the better one. I have to be the less evil one to keep the job. But then it ends up being a twist where my twin was just me, and my boss is telling the tale of me, and he's just lying to the new guy because my boss is a fucking sociopath that likes to get in their brains and warp things to his own making. He just wants the kid to be what he wants, and he only hires 15-year-olds for some weird reason. And he puts them in giant clothes and different ties. I don't know what the hell's going on with that company in the generic business. I think they're moving like Bolivian shale out of that fucking place. That is cocaine. That is heroin. I don't know what's going on in that place, but that was shady as hell. His office was like, it's like he scrubbed it so you can't put a wire in there, so he would notice if there's something was in there because there's no furniture. There's like 2 paintings on the wall up there, and that was it. That's all he's willing to commit. And then so I learned how to keep a job there. Apparently, you don't act like a pretend guy. You let your boss who's lying to you tell you about a guy who didn't exist. Really. I guess that's the lesson. Lie to your employees. That's how you keep a job anyway. So I learned that. The second one was social class in America. And I really learned how to get very confused. I didn't know what the hell was happening in that one. It's a story of Ted. Get this. There's a rich kid, a middle class kid, and a poor kid. The rich kid goes on to do rich things and owns a factory, apparently. Ted is doing something, and then the poor kid works at a gas station his entire fucking life, has a family, and he seems fine, and he wears a poop suit. And then Ted goes to New York after he has like some sort of crazy inner monologue, it's kind of schizophrenic rantings, and hears voices, and they chase him to New York. He goes there, he gets a weird job in the art department somewhere, and then he goes home, and then he realizes his ex-girlfriend is fucking his old best friend, the guy who owns the company, because he's more successful than him. Ted seems kind of depressed, and he's just like in this haze. What the fuck was that? That was super goddamn depressing. That was so fucking depressing. That was my head is I'm reeling. My head is spinning. I don't know what to think. I thought it was gonna go several different directions. It ended up going none of them. I thought it was gonna be Ted finds a way to advance his station. He goes up a level. And he's happier. The American way, through perseverance and hard work, we overcome our status, as they say. And then I was like, no, it's going to be his downfall, where he's like, I stepped out. I stepped 1 foot out of the town, and I shouldn't have done that, and I ruined my life. Now my ex is with my best friend. I come back. Now I'm going to settle back in and settle back into my status, my status, my station in life, and I'm going to be this guy, middle class guy, like I was supposed to be. Nope, wasn't that either. He left to New York, became really successful in his business, came back to nobody, wouldn't even listen to his parents, whose mom sits in the back with him. It's still fucking weird to me. And then he learns that everyone there is happy, but he's not. But it didn't tell us that. He just kind of saw it in his like distant 1,000-yard stare. What the hell was that? I learned so much about social class in America, and that if you work at a gas station and you're a mechanic, you're happy. And then if you own a factory, you might be happy, but you play golf, or was that Ted? I can't tell the difference between these kids. They all look the same. So don't try to change your status, or do? I don't know what the lesson was in that one. I'm going to think about it for some time here. I'm going to think about it for a while. It's going to haunt me. I still hear her voice tell me to go to New York. Go to New York. Go to New York, Phoenix. I can't. I'm trapped in a fucking house. I keep trying to go to New York. I need to get going. Thank you for making me watch these. I really appreciate it. Until next time, and in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West. So long. Oh, fuck. No, come on. You know what? Just gonna ignore it. It's gonna... Nope. Not gonna answer the door. I'm gonna stop watching these government shorts, because every time I do it, I get a doorbell going off. I'm not gonna answer it. Fuck. Fine. Fuck.